Well, it's after midnight. Where you at?
Oxford, Mississippi.
Headed north.
Still heading north. Gotta refuel.
Gotta refuel. Well, 224 miles left till we get to our campsite. We had to stop and refuel, and we're gonna get to the campsite, set up camp, get a few hours of shut-eye, and about mid-morning go start scouting. Might do an evening hunt tomorrow. Might get set up for Thursday morning. Just depends on if we find some fresh sign or see what the woods look like.
Swamp Land Outdoors, we moved a little north up to Missouri.
A little bit.
We are
about a 10-hour drive.
Yeah, and we did it in the middle of the night. Stay away from the traffic as we could. But we are doing our first day of scouting.
Day one of the Missouri Deer Tour.
Yeah, we don't know what's gonna happen here, but we gotta try our best.
Yeah, it's 9:31. We just got to camp about 7 o'clock this morning, set camp up, and now we're going down the road. We got a big piece of public down here. We're gonna do some scouting, try to find some deer sign, and maybe make an evening hunt. Probably not. We're probably gonna get some rest.
Yeah.
And pretty much get ready for the morning time, the morning hunt.
They made me drive all the way over here while they got to sleep, so I've been up clicking along, trying to hang in. But tonight's gonna be a rest night.
Yeah, take it easy today, scout, get some rest, cook a little something. So y'all hang out. This will be episode 1 of the Missouri Deer Tour. We just found a rub right here. We've got about a 4 to 5 year old cutover over here on our right, and then behind Dirtman is a bunch of oaks. We're thinking that the deer would be bedded up in the cutover, crossing over maybe in the evenings, feeding in the oats. You know, deer like the path of least resistance. This is probably a funnel for them. Probably a young buck being as low as it is. I mean, not even knee high. Could be a little 6-pointer or something, a little basket rack, small deer, but that's pretty cool. It's our first sign in Missouri. Some old sign. That could be 2 or 3 weeks old. Alright, let's check out Onyx and kind of see what the terrain's doing here. They're supposed to have a strip, I guess, along that bottom. Oh, we ain't even. See, I was thinking about getting here.
Yeah.
Let's go straight in.
That's the bottom, and that's another bottom. So all this is high.
That ridge. So basically, the back side of that ridge is where we was wanting to get. Yeah. All right, well, let's follow the edge of that little ravine down and jump across. Found a little hole here, so I'm thinking it's either a spring or a little watering hole that'll catch water and it'll puddle up. So I've got this trail coming in, and we've got some rain coming the next couple of days, so I'm going to mark this spot as a watering hole. Also got some acorns here. Looks like a deer to me. You bit it clean in half. A squirrel will kind of nick at it. I believe this is a deer. He cracked into it, and it was an old acorn. And I've got these couple white oaks behind me. Got this really big white oak here that's dropping, steady dropping. The only problem is it's so open in here. It'd be really hard to get a spot without getting silhouetted. Looks like a deer turned. Me and Dirtman we walked up this bottom here, and we got about right here, and something blew at us. But the wind's hitting us in the face. So we're thinking either the wind was swirling or it got a glimpse of us. But I don't think we spooked it too bad, because there's no way it could have got, you know, a good whiff at us. Kind of thinking they're coming out of here. They've got some cutover on that next ridge, and we'd be accessing it from this way. So I'm thinking about coming in the morning or the evening, coming in, circling around, putting a stand up. I don't know, we'll see. Still day one. I know one thing. This is a challenge. You can't find tracks. The ground's so hard. Got all these caps. These little trees have probably already dropped. It looks like the bigger trees are the only ones still dropping now. Try to find some more sign to confirm this area, and then we might come in here tomorrow, depending on the wind.
So we've been finding a lot of rubs through here, a lot of older ones. This one's a little bit fresher. You can see he's got broken branches on the ground. These, it's not a high rub, it's not a big tree, but
Fresh sign.
Big deer will do that too, and that's the freshest one we've found so far. We're gonna keep pushing. So we found a little bit more. And as I'm standing here, I'm getting pelted on by all these oak trees. They're dropping pretty heavy. Some of the acorns are a little bit old, but I did find some good fresh ones that was pretty done. They were getting ate pretty quick. I must say, this old deer he's getting pretty mad. Broke that. Broke all of that. And he came and hit that little tree. Then right over there, found some more. What's over here? Wait.
Hey y'all, it's day 2, about 10 o'clock. We got rested up from that trip last night. We're going in for a midday to evening sit. We're gonna sit till it gets dark. Yesterday was a good scouting day. We got on some good sign. Dirtman found a whole rub line. Found a couple places that was had some light sign, so I'm gonna dig in there a little deeper. Dirtman's gonna go to his spot, and we're gonna see what we can strike up today. Right, last man's dropped off. I'm gonna head down here. I'm gonna be about 3 ridges down from where Dirtman went in on that road. I'm gonna work my way back up in there. We found some really good sign on the back side of those ridges. So we're gonna set up. It's about 11:30 by the time I got everybody dropped off. He's back in there. We're gonna sit till it gets dark. Day 2. still kind of, they're not zeroed in on any specific bucks or target areas, but we got a general idea of what they're doing in this one area. So I'm going to kind of work my way in, give myself about an hour or so, work my way in. A log truck coming. Oh, that's nice. It's about the only traffic we've seen out here. It's been log trucks. They're logging about a mile past where we're hunting. Anyways, other than that, hadn't been a lot of traffic. It's a lot of woods out here and not a lot of pressure. I think because of how open a lot of it is. Now come rifle season, I expect it to be pretty crowded. Got some tire tracks, but it looks like 3 or 4 days old, possibly a week. It hasn't rained up here in a few days, and it's got some leaves on top of it, so it's not too fresh. It might have been back here just dumping garbage. It's real nice. Hopefully they just come back here to dump their garbage, unfortunately. I'm going to ease back in here. Dirt Man's about a quarter of a mile, about 3 ridges over that way. I'm up on top of this ridge, and it goes down, like I said, about 2 or 3 more ridges. And he's going to be on the back side of one of those ridges. Alright, see y'all in the woods. Well, curveball, guys. While I was turning around, little bitty old road, I went to turn around and bottomed off in the ditch. I was trying to back up in this cutoff, caught my front tire. When I got the front of the truck here, the tires dropped down. It's a 2-wheel drive truck, I couldn't pull it out. I had to jack both sides of the truck up and put wood under each tire, and then I was able to back straight out like this, get turned around. I wanted to go ahead and do it while it was daylight, and I knew it wasn't going to be no fun, and I'm glad I did. That'd have been a headache trying to round up enough sticks and rocks to put under the tire, but we're pointed out now. So I'm all hot and sweaty. I'm going to have to use the old school scent control thing they call wind, and just take it real easy. I'm trying to cool off. Supposed to have a cold front coming in tomorrow night, but today is still humid and pretty hot, so I'm gonna grab my gear and work my way back in the woods. Man, it's hot out here. It's real humid, but I'm starting to find some fresher sign. I found a scrape back there. Looked like it might have got hit once. We got a scrape here. I'm about 200 yards off the road. Some bedding. I'm gonna set up just on the downwind edge of it. Definitely got a buck in there. I'll be glad when that cold front hits. It does seem to be thicker on the north side of the ridge, my right side, and more open to the left. It's got more oaks down there. So I'm just guessing until I see more sign. I think they're bedding on the right side, running up down this ridge and then crossing over in them oaks, probably at night to feed up. So if I can find a staging area, I'm gonna set up my saddle. Alright, I made it back in here. Took me about an hour, a little bit over an hour. And I was taking my time, still sweating. I had that sign up at the front, real good sign, a consistent sign, and then it dropped off to nothing. And I'm getting back here right at the tip of this point before it starts dropping down. And I'm starting to find some more sign. That's some fresh scrape, probably last night. Maybe even this morning. The moisture is still in the scrape where he stepped in it. Decent size track. I'm gonna turn this off and find me a tree. Once I figure out which way he's going, I kinda think he's crossing or like walking around this ridge. Up at the top behind me, it's real thick. I don't know if they're utilizing that for bedding or what, but I'm gonna try to figure it out and get set up. I'll let y'all know what we come up with. Hey y'all, just got set up. I wound up coming all the way down that ridge to this bottom. I didn't see a lot of sign at the tip of that ridge like I was expecting. I got down in this bottom and I started seeing a few hot white oak trees. Let's see. Yeah. This one right here is steady dropping at least every 15 to 30 seconds. I don't know if you can hear that, but they're dropping steady. That's a really fresh scrape. I believe it's a community scrape because it's 2 or 3 scrapes. So it's probably getting worked by does and bugs. And those acorns are dropping hot. 20-yard shot to that scrape. 15 to 20 yard to that white oak. The wind's hitting me in the back of the head. So if something's coming into that scrape, I'm gonna have to be ready. But if they're coming into that white oak from where I think, they'll be coming crosswind or down this next ridge, then I should be good. That wind keeps changing. We got our front moving in tomorrow evening. So I think that wind is, I think that's why that wind's swirling. Well, it's about 4:30, and I can hear the rain coming behind me. I'll try to sit it out. We had a 50% chance of rain. That's why I didn't bring the big camera. My phone's waterproof, so it should be good. I'm gonna ride it out.
It's pouring rain. It's gonna be raining for a while. Yep. Waiting until morning now.
It's morning of day 3. Everybody's on fresh sign. We're getting some breakfast and coffee, some eggs and bacon and onions, and some coffee straight off the grill. We'll go get in the woods. We had a heavy rain come in last night, hoping that'll neutralize our scouting scent. We're gonna get on in there and try to bust one this morning. spooked a deer upwind. I don't think he smelled me. It was feeding on one of these hot white oaks. It blew a couple times and slowly made its way off. Like I said, I don't think it smelled me. I don't think it seen me. I think it just heard me and didn't know what I was. But that's a good sign. They're definitely feeding in here. I'm gonna sit up here 4 or 5 hours, make a good morning on it, and then I'm gonna pick up and move across the creek. That's where that doe ran. That's where I was expecting the bedding to be. I'm gonna cross the creek, try to find some more fresh sign and set up on the backside of that next ridge. We're gonna be getting a northwest wind tonight, so it'll be hitting me in the face. It'll be perfect if they circle that ridge to come down to that bottom or come down that ridge. I should have a good shot. I expect them to be bedding up on top of that ridge. And I'm down here in the bottom between 2 ridges. I came down off a ridge behind me, and there's another ridge in front of me, and this creek runs in between them. Alright, y'all be quiet. We hunting. Hey y'all, it's about 10:30 on the 3rd morning. I just picked my stand up. I got my sticks in my saddle and everything packed up. I'm leaving out. Pretty big rub there from this year. And we got a historical rub right there from a few years ago. After blowing that doe out this morning right at daybreak, I don't think she smelled me. I think she heard me. Might have seen my silhouette going in. I got down about 9:30 and kind of eased over there. I was wanting to move further in anyways, but after looking at it, it looked like a doe bedding area straight across that little bottom. So I made me a little semicircle and got back up on this ridge, and I'm working my way back to the truck. We'll pick up the other fellas here in about 30-45 minutes. And I think I'm gonna just go somewhere new tonight. I've got a few spots marked out on my map, and I'll get that cold front moving in this evening, so that's gonna be good. And I think with that wind swirling yesterday and then that doe blowing me out this morning, I just feel like I blew this spot out. Definitely a nice buck cruising through here. I don't think he's bedding here, so by the time he gets here, it's probably, you know, late at night. So, all right, well, I guess we'll see y'all back at camp. We'll see what the guys got. Oh, look, a hitchhiker. Get in the back.
Oh.
You see anything?
Yeah. Seen the doe that blew at you.
It circled back to come to you?
Yeah.
That's something, because it took off.
She was a ways away.
She took off and went north from me. Unless there was another one behind me.
I don't know. I seen her cut over the next ridge, but it was way down there. And then right after that, I mean directly after that, I started hearing a deer sneezing, and on the next ridge over, I kept hearing her, and I said, she ain't far. I was sitting on the ground because my saddle decided to give me trouble, and I waited there for a little while looking for that deer sneezing. Finally, she stood up, and that deer wasn't 100 yards from me.
Oh man,
and
bedded down?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Did you make it all the way to that buck bedding?
Yeah, no.
You didn't go that far?
No, because I seen too good a sign before then. I got fresh crate, fresh tracks, fresh poop, fresh hooking. So I'm in it.
Yeah, you got it going on. When when I got down about 9:30, 9:45, I pushed in there a little further. I was gonna set up on the other side of that bottom.
Yeah.
And the further I got away from that ridge I was on, the worse the sign got, the older it got.
Yeah.
I said, well, I'm gonna move. So I picked up my saddle and everything. I think I'm gonna go somewhere new tonight.
Yeah.
Go in blind, maybe further down past where they're logging at.
Wow. Alright. Well, if anything, me and you'll talk about it.
Right. Uh-oh. That cousin of yours must have got one.
He texted me a little while ago. Said he was just getting down.
So at the stand I set up this evening, after doing about 2 or 3 hours of scouting, found a really fresh scrape line on the southeast side of a bedding area at the top of a ridge. So I'm setting up on the southeast side of the scrape, which is on the southeast side of the bedding area, thinking that that buck may come in and J-hook. If he comes in and J-hooks on that scrape line in the bedding, then I'll be waiting on him. We've got a really good tree. It's a twin, actually it's a twin. I believe it's a white oak. It goes up, and the one I'm climbing on doesn't have any limbs, but the twin behind me, which would be my backdrop, it's got a lot of 4 foot, 5 foot canopy limbs on it, so I'm kind of excited about that setup. It's also been raining this evening, off and on, and getting cold, so I went ahead and got out of the woods. I didn't want to blow that spot out. It's probably my favorite setup of the week at the end of day 3 here, so hopefully it'll produce something. The hope is that buck comes in on a northwest wind, J-hooks behind his bedding, and then goes into bedding, and I'll catch him on that corner. There's a real fresh rub right at the entrance of it, and then a scrape line running down the side of the ridge. Anyways, that's a mouthful. And we'll go pick up Dirt Man. He said his wind's swirling too, and I guess his cousin's probably gonna be ready. We got another band of showers coming in till about 9 o'clock tonight. So we're trying to hit this window, and I believe all 3 of us set our spots up for the different wind. We've been hunting a southeast wind, so now we've kind of transitioned over to a northwest. Hopefully we get something in the morning. It's the end of day 3. Catch y'all on day 4. Thanks for watching.